Police and protesters in Cottonwood Heights are now blaming each other for the chaos that ensued after last night's protest.
Fox 13's Spencer Joseph spoke with both sides today and has reaction to the events that took place yesterday. Spencer.
Bob Kelly, this is where that protest started at this park. Both sides were injured. There were injuries reported on both sides, and as you said, they're both blaming each other, and it's leaving Cottonwood Heights residents to ask, how did this all happen?
People who are here peacefully.
Sunday night, tempers flared high in Cottonwood Heights.
Come on, appreciate it. You guys gotta be kidding me.
The aftermath Monday was no different.
Is the CHPD does not need to give me permission to drive down to my place where my son was shot.
Police say it was the actions of the protesters.
They wanted a confrontation with law enforcement.
Protesters say it was the actions of the police.
And what that does is it just rips up the First Amendment.
The protest was over the death of Zane James, who was shot and killed 2 years ago by Cottonwood Heights police, resulted in the arrest of Zane's father and 7 others.
I turned to my wife, I was like, is somebody getting maced over there?
And beaten with a club.
It was our friend.
His family outraged about this situation. Police saying the protesters failed to follow the law by not allowing traffic through the street.
I didn't tell them to go away. I didn't tell them they couldn't be here. I didn't tell them it was an unlawful assembly. I just simply said, please let the cars go by, step to the sidewalk.
That was an excuse to arrest people.
Multiple injuries were reported. Even a Cottonwood Heights City Councilwoman, Tally Bruce, says she was hit by police and threatened by the chief. Officers also saying they sustained injuries.
A UPD officer was choked, strangled to the point of being unconscious. I have an officer that is at the hospital now getting his nose looked at.
Police also saying they were sprayed by protesters.
They had some sort of substance in a super soaker that had pepper and bodily fluids in it. And
protesters saying this was water to keep them cool.
Bright, colorful squirt guns. Full of water.
And with both sides pointing fingers at each other, the only question is, what happens next?
I mean, we're in a no-win situation in this whole thing. We didn't want to have to use any force. We don't have to do anything. We wish that they would have got on the sidewalk and went about their business.
Was an organized attempt to intimidate free speech.
The attorney for the family, Robert Sykes, told us today that Zane James's case is still ongoing, but he also said there could be further cases and lawsuits against the Cottonwood Heights Police Department involving their actions last night. In Cottonwood Heights, Spencer Joseph, Fox 13 News, Utah.